here, the title, Unity Consciousness, refers to the fact that you go through stages of development that can lead to the realization or the experience. You can think of it as transcendent or cosmic consciousness. There's many terms to describe the human potential for evolving or developing. So what I'm going to do is go through a series of stages that you'll see lead in this direction.
This little girl is able to follow a toy as it moves to her left, center, and right. As she does so, you can see her saccadic eye movements. In this clip, taken a few days later, the saccadic jumps are very clear, especially when we slow down the video. Notice how she looks at the toy but doesn't immediately follow it when it moves to her left. When she does, her eyes make discrete jumps. Here, here, and again here. A week later, we can still see the saccadic eye movements, but the jumps are smaller and faster. Research has shown that the movements are also more accurate and more able to anticipate the motion of an object rather than just reacting to it. As your baby's neck muscles get stronger, you will notice that the object can be followed across a greater range of motion. As the arms get stronger, you may notice the beginnings of reaching movements. More on that in Activity 4. Your baby will also get better at seeing the object from further away, even as far away as the feet.
The reason I show the video is to see how we're born like that. This is the level of consciousness after being born, before we acquire language. One of my mentors called it pre-conscious, meaning, in a sense, pre-verbal. And of course, Korzybski referred to that level of consciousness as the silent level. It is possible, in other words, to be conscious without thinking and without language strongly or influencing our consciousness. Then, of course, as we mature, we acquire language. We learn to think and to behave under the influence of language. As Korzybski has taught us, language has the effect also of distorting language in a certain way. When we use the is of identity, we say, this is a pen. There is a problem with that, right? The word is not the thing. This is merely called a pen. It's a word that labels the object. So not only does language influence the way we relate to the physical world, but it includes our relationships with people. And this is very, very significant, that we give labels to people and judge them. I think you were talking about judging as good people or bad people. People are right or people are wrong. Those kinds of judgments that we use to label people and their actions has a very powerful influence on the way we interact and relate to them. Here's our best example of judgmental Action.
Now I am being viciously attacked with lies and smears. It's a phony deal. I have no idea who these women are. I have no idea. I have no idea. And I think you all know I have no idea because you understand me for a lot of years. When you looked at that horrible woman last night, you said, I don't think so. Whoever she is, wherever she comes from, the stories are total fiction. They're 100% made up. They never happened. They never would happen. I don't think it happened with very many people, but they certainly aren't going to happen with me. You know, my people always say, "We're going to talk about it. Talk about jobs. Talk about the economy. Don't worry, your jobs are going to be they are going to be coming back to North Carolina like you've never seen." But I feel I have to talk about it because you have to dispute when somebody says something. Unfortunately, we have the microphone. We're able to dispute. Some people can't. These are lies being pushed by the media and the Clinton campaign to try and keep their grip on our country. They're all false. They're totally invented. Fiction. All 100% totally and completely fabricated. Now, I am being...
Well, I don't think there's a better example of human neurosis than this one. And the point is, we see in it the dogmatism, the absolutism, self-righteousness, all of these attributes that create problems for us in our social interactions. And as I was saying, there's steps in the process of development from beginning with a kind of unity and integration of beings, the infant-mother relationship. And we, through the acquisition of language, develop into, I wouldn't say you're all like Donald Trump, but we all have tendencies to judge, to think what we think is right, and that if somebody disagrees with us, they're obviously wrong. And it's that kind of thinking that creates a lot of social conflicts. As indicates here, Krzyzewski labeled such behavior as unsanity. In other words, it's maladaptive and includes absolutism and dogmatism. In other words, it's the byproduct, you could say, of language that these kinds of excuse me, thinking and behavior develop. And one of the things about insanity is that it entails dissociation from the world. In other words, we see ourselves and our relationship with objects as separate. In other words, we're assuming that's over there, I'm over here, and there's emptiness and separateness among us or between us. Everything is seen as disconnected. We're not realizing, as we'll see, the extent to which everything is, in fact, connected. For example, if you just close your eyes and inhale, you're integrated with the environment. You're taking in the air which surrounds you. Similarly, we're sitting on a chair with gravity holding or pulling us in the direction of the ground. So that's invisible too, gravity, unless or until we do something like this, and gravity then is controlling what's happening. Perception of separateness leads to alienation and social conflict. In other words, as we sense ourselves as separate from, we're more prone to then engage in or experience conflict. Another perspective, however, is that everything in the universe is connected. And that means the sun, the clouds, the trees, the ocean, everything is interconnected. And a seamless kind of connection among objects. So general semantics uses the hyphen to symbolize the connectedness. We can think of ourselves as organism in environment. The use of the hyphen integrates the thinking, so it isn't just organism here, environment there, but the interwoven connectedness. And as I said before, the infant-mother relationship is one which is connected, or connectedness. In Chinese philosophy, the connectedness is represented by yin and yang. In other words, a circle that has these components to it. And it's a symbolic way of representing our interconnectedness. And using the hyphen, there's light-dark, or, fire-water, male-female. Their connectedness again. So, here we go. What I end with is a beautiful demonstration of connectedness as amazing as it can get. Isn't that amazing? It goes on for a while. You can see it on YouTube. The point is that we can evolve to unity consciousness. And in that evolution, what we're doing is moving from dissociation and conflict to a stage or a place where we're both experiencing unity and solidarity or harmony with both nature and our fellow human beings. So that's the way we'll end.